So we're going to talk about why NFTs on a technical level are fundamentally broken. We're going to dive into the inner workings and actually look at the metadata and how they operate, and why, other than a cash grab, they're pretty much nothing. They're receipts. I want to start out by saying in this particular video, I'm not going to be talking about the environmental or ethical impact of the NFT movement. Numerous people have pointed out the damage it's had on the environment and how the illusion of scarcity has been used to manipulate people into buying. With the prospect of proof of stake and the eventual die-out of FOMO, I think those problems are eventually going to solve themselves. Taking away all those criticisms too, lets us look at the root of how NFTs work and why they are incredibly flawed. Step one, we need to figure out what is an NFT. If you criticize crypto bros, they'll often tell you that the only reason you're not on board with NFTs is because you don't have a good understanding of how it works. Imagine taking your favorite skin from Valorant and using it in Fortnite and not paying extra because you own it, then using it in Call of Duty, Minecraft, even Twitter and Instagram. So many possibilities. On the surface, that sounds fantastic. I've dived in to understanding how NFT works, and the first thing I did to understand it is I did some research, but the second thing I did is make some NFTs. So how do you make an NFT? So the first thing you're going to need is a wallet. Now, technically, everything you do is connected directly to your Ethereum wallet. And this MetaMask is kind of like becoming the default for things like NFTs and the way it handles the wallet, because it allows you to do signatures and then authenticate and all that kind of stuff. So you install this into your browser, which I'm not going to do on this browser because this is my default and I don't want to put this crap on there. But there's also an Android app, and then this handles your keys. You have your like main login that you have for it, and the whole thing is pseudo anonymous. Then once you have MetaMask, you can log in. So if you go to your profile here, it's going to ask for different ways of authenticating with your Ethereum wallet. And of course, you can see the most popular one is MetaMask. At that point, creating a NFT is as simple as grabbing your assets, giving it a title, maybe some meta description data, whatnot, and then you upload it to OpenSeas. The images themselves actually get pushed up to the IPFS, and almost all the other metadata is encrypted directly into the blockchain. Really, this OpenSeas is a front end, but the entire thing exists outside of OpenSeas. Though I think they do a little bit of caching and things like that on their own servers. Not too sure about that one, but it's pretty straightforward and very simple to do. But in terms of decentralization, 10 out of 10, not bad. Now here's the thing about NFTs. They are completely decentralized. That means no central authority. In the entire process, there was nothing stopping me from putting up, obnoxious content, maybe something illegal, and there was definitely no checks for copyright. Editing Arthur here. The reason why these checks and balances are so very important is because a lot of times people are grabbing artwork from sites like DeviantArt, things they didn't even create, and they're minting them. There's no oversight, there's no centralization, so these are pretty much going unstopped. So the artists are doing the hard work, and then someone else is cashing in on them, which is unfortunate. To test this, I went ahead and grabbed that famous first 500 days Beeple NFT that sold for like 60 plus million. And I was able to use one of the Ethereum tools that lets you examine the smart contracts. Again, it's a blockchain technology, so everything is completely open to the public. I was able to grab the JPEG file associated with that NFT sale. It was hosted on an IPFS server, which I was able to just simply wget to pull right off of a gateway. The 300 megabyte JPEG, bit for bit perfect of what he sold, was on my desktop. And then I re-uploaded to OpenSeas. Granted, I had to recompress it again because OpenSeas has a limitation, I think around 100 megabytes, and this was like over 300 megabytes. but it was the same image and it was the exact same resolution. Now I posted it for sale, adding that it was a replica to the description, because I'm not a complete dirtbag. And I left this NFT up on OpenSeas for a full week before I kind of wussed out and decided to pull it down. So why was I able to do this? Again, it's blockchain. Everything has to be available. If you build a skin in game A and it's supposed to be loadable in game B, then all those assets, the images, the sounds, the XML that puts it all together, all that has to be just easily grabbable. Which really means once you take away the economic incentive of the first, and you're simply using it as a way to buy and sell skins and themes and other digital assets are right back down to where we started. You just copy them and rebuild them, and in this case, remint. The first thing you see when you are loaded into the game is not going to be the smart contract, but the skin itself. By associating the contract with the asset, but ultimately making the asset endlessly duplicatable, means the outside of the monetary value of that blockchain transactions, it's just right-clicking a JPEG again. Here we are. The entire system, by design, is not about the assets. It's not about the images. If you're okay with the environmental impact and you're okay with the social damage that's come from all this, and you're okay with the fact that your assets aren't actually what you're buying, but what you're buying is a transaction on a blockchain, more power to you. But that's not the way they're marketed. That's not the way the whole thing is laid out. And even people like Mike from Lincoln Park don't seem to really understand that. NFTs are a terrible example of blockchain technology. Now, I talk a lot of trash on this whole blockchain thing. I'm not against it. I'm not completely against it. I think there's a lot of really good technology deep in there that use the right way, keyword the right way, that this could be amazing, but we haven't found the proper use case for this yet. There's absolutely nothing in this whole Web3 boom that either hasn't already been invented in a superior fashion or simply doesn't need to be made in the first place. But that could be a rant for a completely different video. All right, so since I started working on this video, several things have happened. There was the Twitter profile thing, which is weird. And of course, the Dune book. Thanks for everyone who supports my channel. I have my Patreons over here. Thank you guys very much. Without your support, this would not be possible. If you'd like to also support, you can subscribe down below. And of course, if you find anything I say completely wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments, because the last thing I want is top-notch engagement.